This is a fight breakdown of George Foreman versus Muhammad Ali from October 29, 1974. Make sure you hit that subscribe button now while you can, so you can stay tuned for future fight breakdowns and videos. Alright, so I think it's appropriate that we break down the Foreman-Ali fight, as we recently lost Muhammad Ali, the greatest fighter of all time. I never thought I'd be breaking down Muhammad Ali, but honestly I think this is the only way I know how to honor him, and so it's a pleasure to do it. I think there's a lot to learn from him. I mean, he was the greatest boxer of all time. Additionally, I think he was ferocious in the ring, but he was a man of peace outside the ring and someone that we could all learn from in every aspect of life. So it's truly an honor. A little background on the fight. As you can see, George Foreman was 40-0 with 37 knockouts. He was the champion. He was a beast. He was knocking guys out left and right. Muhammad Ali had quite the career himself at the time, but he did have some struggles with the likes of Joe Frazier and Ken Norton, both of whom he went 12 rounds with and lost to both of those guys. Had to come back and fight them again and beat them. So Muhammad Ali, huge wins for him to beat those guys, but George Foreman cleaned those guys out in the second round each. He was a destroyer, and everyone was pretty confident that George Foreman was going to beat Ali. But Ali had a strategy, and the first key to victory was the rope-a-dope. That's right, the rope-a-dope. You've probably heard of the terminology, and it was made famous in this fight. Ali actually used this on Foreman effectively. Now, it's not a technique that I would recommend, but it worked for him. And rope-a-dope was simply some humorous terminology that Ali used to describe the move. But what it involved was him laying on the ropes, and he would allow his opponent to wear himself out. So in this case, George Foreman, he would lay on the ropes. He would have his hands up high, as you could see there, to protect his head. He would also move around on the ropes from time to time, and you'll see that in some of these clips, to avoid punches. But his goal was to wear Foreman out, and it worked beautifully. What you're also going to see is that Ali would counterpunch from the ropes when the opportunity arose. But additionally, what you're also going to see is that he is focusing on pulling Foreman in, talking to him. And so right here you can see he's got his head pulled in with his left arm. He's got his right hand around Foreman's left arm, and he's actually pinning him in so he can talk to him. And he's saying things like, "Is that all you got, George? They told me you could punch, George." And he's getting George Foreman wound up. And he's got him wound up so much that Foreman just kept coming after him round after round after round. And it worked beautifully.
Heavyweight championship fight. Ali on the left. Foreman.
Let you guys watch a few of these clips here.
Foreman setting him up against the rope. What a vicious, fast combination by Ali. Ali definitely showing the hand speed in this.
Notice him talking.
George Foreman, the left eye, not the right eye.
And when Ali would counter, most times he was going with a classic 1-2. When you guys throw that 1-2, just like him, let the jab set up the 2. Let the jab stun your opponent, and then crack him with a hard 2. The countering allowed him to stay in the fight as well. Most referees are not going to let you just lay there on the ropes and watch you take a beating, so it's necessary to answer from time to time.
Foreman hasn't been able to push Ali off and set him up. Misses the right hand. Ali is definitely confusing it. Wild right hand taking the back of the head of Ali. Foreman with a wild right again. Ali looks like he's trying to rest in this round. His punches are not doing any damage though.
And this is a great series of the rope-a-dope right here.
Right misses the head of Ali. The left taking on the glove of Ali. The right glove. Foreman pouring. 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 Foreman trying to set him up. Trying to set him up to the body. Ali does look tired now. Foreman seems to be coming back with more steam. Scores with a light right hand. 1 minute left in round 5. This is George Foreman's round all the way. Ali,
Some of these punches, I'm really not sure how Ali took them. George Foreman was such a powerful puncher, and when he was railing on that body, I mean, it's surprising that any man could take those punches.
except once with the face. Neither fighter has been down. Ali picks it up a little bit, about 40 seconds left.
The second key to victory was finishing strong in the last 30 seconds. What I mean by that is that Muhammad Ali would finish the rounds aggressively and on an offensive note, he would turn on the switch. He would start lighting him up. And that is a fantastic lesson for you guys from the greatest boxer of all time. You can use this when you fight. You use those last 30 seconds to take away your opponent's confidence, to boost your own confidence, to get your opponent when he's a little more tired nearing the end of the round and a lot more opportunities arise. But you also want to get aggressive in the last 30 seconds because most times that's what the judges remember. So as they score the fight round by round by round, it may be in your favor to get aggressive the last 30 seconds of each round, and that will help tip a decision in your direction. Plain and simple, it might make the difference in the outcome of a fight for you.
Combinations in the last few seconds of the round. Right hand misses. That right hand scored by Ali. Look at these combinations that Ali lands. The speed of Ali at this point is outclassed the strength and booming punches of Foreman. Neither fighter has been down. Round 6.
The third key to victory was the cross punch, throwing it over Foreman's left from time to time or Foreman's jab. And if you watch some of the other clips or watch the fight in its totality, you'll see that the cross punch was pretty effective for Muhammad Ali. But what I'm going to show you here is actually the knockout. And you'll see a series of right-hand crosses that led to the knockout. Now this first one here I think did hurt Foreman, and it went under Foreman's left hand if you watch that in slow motion, which I'll show you. But the rest of these are over Foreman's left hand, which is a way you guys can counter a jab. When your opponent's throwing the jab, you can throw the cross over their jab and connect sometimes, because usually guys aren't keeping their shoulder up when they throw the jab. When you throw the jab, keep your shoulder up. But sometimes your opponent won't do that, and you're able to connect with their chin. This is one of the most historic wins you'll ever see in boxing, and you can see the crowd is going crazy. Total upset. Okay, so here it is in slow motion. So you're going to see Ali throw a 1-2. So here's the jab, cross. That actually went under Foreman's arm, but you're going to see the rest are going to go over his arm. So there's another jab, jab. Now look at this. There's Foreman's arm, went over his shoulder, connects, and that definitely hurt Foreman. And in a second here, you're going to see Ali, he notices that he's hurt. So he's kind of stumbling forward now. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. He knows he's got George hurt. So he's going to capitalize. There's another right over the shoulder again. Foreman's feeling it, but he's coming after him. Another right, tagging him where he can. Another right over the shoulder. Boom! And that's the classic punch that put him down. We'll slow down that knockout punch for you one more time. So it comes in with the 1-2. 2 over the arm. Here it is. That's all she wrote. One more time. Full speed so you can appreciate it.
Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman. This is a combination. 3, 4, 5, 6. Foreman gets up to the knee. 8. That's it. The fight is stopped. Muhammad Ali.
All right, now that's how I'm going to leave it with you guys. That's how I remember Muhammad Ali, walking off into the distance with his arms held high. I'm grateful to have lived when he was alive, and I'm thankful that he was part of the sport of boxing. He made it great. I'm thankful that he was part of this world. He made it a better place. And I know that most of us feel that we can only strive to be half of what he was. He's the greatest of all time.